Good morning, everyone. A new year always brings a sense of excitement, doesn't it? Fresh calendars, new goals, new hopes. But let me say this right at the start, a new year by itself won't change your life. If it did, everyone would be transformed on January 1st. Real change starts with a new mindset. Your mindset is the lens through which you see everything, your past, your present, and your future. If that lens is cloudy with fear, doubt, or negativity, even good opportunities can look impossible. But when your thinking changes, your life begins to follow. Many people step into a new year dragging old thoughts with them. I always fail. I'm not good enough. This is just how my life is. Those thoughts may feel familiar, but familiarity does not mean truth. You cannot step into a new season while holding on to old patterns of thinking. Let me remind you of something important. You are not stuck. You may have made mistakes, faced disappointments, or even wasted time, but your future is not canceled. The moment you decide to think differently, you begin to live differently. Now, here's the good news. You don't need to change everything at once. You just need to start. Some people delay growth because they're waiting for the perfect moment. But perfection is the enemy of progress. You don't need a perfect plan. You need a willing heart and a determined mind. This year, instead of saying, I'll try, say, I will. Instead of saying, I can't, say, I'm learning. Instead of saying, it's too late, say, this is my time to grow. Your words matter because they reinforce your mindset. Speak life over your future, even when you don't see results yet. And let's talk about fear, because fear loves to show up at the beginning of something new. Fear says, what if it doesn't work? Faith says, what if it does? Courage isn't the absence of fear. It's choosing to move forward anyway. This year, don't let fear decide your direction. Let faith lead, let discipline support you, and let hope keep you going. Remember this: small, consistent choices create big transformation. One positive thought today, one healthy habit tomorrow, one brave decision at a time. As you step into this new year, make a decision not just to hope for change, but to think differently, speak differently, and act differently. Because when your mindset changes, your life will follow. Your mindset sets the direction of your life. Long before your circumstances change, long before results show up on the outside, your thoughts are already pointing you somewhere. Every day, whether you realize it or not, you are moving in the direction of your dominant thinking. What you consistently think will eventually shape how you live, how you respond, how you decide, and how you see yourself. That is why two people can face the same situation and have completely different outcomes, because their minds are leading them down different paths. Your thoughts are powerful. They are not harmless, passing ideas. They are builders. When you repeatedly think thoughts of fear, limitation, or defeat, you begin to live cautiously, avoid risks, and settle for less than you were created for. But when you train your mind to think with hope, confidence, and purpose, your actions start to line up with that belief. You walk differently, speak differently, and make choices that move you forward instead of holding you back. Many people want change in their lives without changing the way they think. They want better relationships, stronger confidence, and greater peace, but they keep rehearsing negative thoughts about themselves and their future. Over time, those thoughts become habits, and those habits shape behavior. If you constantly tell yourself that you are not capable, you will eventually stop trying. If you keep thinking that nothing ever works out for you, you will expect failure before you even begin. The good news is that your mindset is not fixed. You may not be able to control every situation, but you can control what you allow to stay in your mind. Every time you choose to replace a negative thought with a positive one, you are changing direction. Every time you refuse to dwell on fear and choose to believe that growth is possible, you are shaping a better future for yourself. What you think today becomes how you live tomorrow. Thoughts influence attitudes, attitudes influence actions, and actions determine results. When you make a decision to think intentionally, to focus on what is right rather than what is wrong, you begin to experience a shift from the inside out. Your mindset becomes the steering wheel of your life, quietly but consistently guiding you toward the person you are becoming. A new year doesn't change you, new thinking does. When the calendar turns, nothing about your habits, attitudes, or beliefs automatically shifts. You can wake up on January 1st with the same fears, the same doubts, the same patterns that followed you through the previous year. The date may be new, but if your thinking remains the same, your results will be the same too. Real transformation does not come from a moment in time. It comes from a decision of the mind. Many people put their hope in fresh starts, believing that a new season will somehow fix old problems. They wait for motivation to magically appear or for circumstances to line up perfectly. But change does not respond to waiting. It responds to intentional thinking. If you don't challenge the thoughts that limit you, the same cycles will repeat themselves just under a different year. The calendar can mark time, but it cannot renew your mind. Real transformation begins on the inside, not on the calendar. Before your actions change, your thinking must change. Before your habits improve, your beliefs must shift. If you believe you are weak, you will act powerless. If you believe you are capable of growth, you will start making choices that support that belief. What you accept in your mind eventually shows up in your life. New thinking requires awareness and effort. It means paying attention to the thoughts you allow to stay. It means recognizing when your mind automatically goes to fear, negativity, or self-doubt and choosing to redirect it. This doesn't happen overnight, but it happens through consistency. One better thought at a time can begin to reshape your entire outlook. When your thinking changes, your responses change. You stop reacting emotionally and start responding wisely. You stop seeing obstacles as proof that you should quit and begin seeing them as opportunities to grow. Your confidence increases not because everything is easy, but because your mind is no longer working against you. A new year can be a powerful reminder that change is possible, but it is not the source of that change. The true power lies in your willingness to think differently, to believe differently, and to see yourself and your future through a renewed perspective. When your thoughts are aligned with growth discipline and hope, your life begins to move in a new direction from the inside out. You don't need a perfect start, just a committed one. Many people delay moving forward because they are waiting for the ideal moment, the perfect conditions, or the confidence that feels complete. They tell themselves they will begin once everything is in place, once they feel ready, or once they are sure they won't fail. But perfection is a moving target, and waiting for it often leads to never starting at all. Commitment, not perfection, is what creates momentum. Progress matters more than perfection because growth is a process, not an event. Real change rarely looks clean or impressive at the beginning. It looks like small steps, imperfect effort, and learning as you go. When you expect perfection, every mistake feels like failure. But when you focus on progress, mistakes become teachers instead of stop signs. You understand that falling short does not mean you are falling apart. It simply means you are still learning. Perfection puts pressure on people to perform flawlessly, while commitment gives permission to grow. A committed person shows up even on days when motivation's low. They keep going even when results are slow and effort feels unseen. They understand that consistency over time produces far more change than one flawless attempt. What matters is not how perfectly you begin, but how faithfully you continue. Many people quit too soon because they judge themselves too harshly. They miss one day, make one mistake, or face one setback, and they decide they have failed completely. But progress is not destroyed by a misstep. It is destroyed by giving up. Every small effort you make is building something, even when it doesn't feel dramatic or significant. Commitment shifts your focus from outcomes to obedience to the process. You stop asking, am I doing this perfectly? And start asking, am I moving forward? That shift removes fear and replaces it with resilience. It allows you to take action without being paralyzed by the need to get everything right. When you embrace progress over perfection, you become more patient with yourself. You allow room for growth, grace, and improvement. Each step forward, no matter how small, strengthens your confidence and reinforces your discipline. Over time, those small steps add up to meaningful change, shaping not only what you achieve, but who you become along the way. Choose faith over fear and action over excuses. Fear will always try to speak first, especially when you are standing at the edge of something new. It questions your ability, magnifies the risks, and reminds you of every past failure. Fear does not need facts to feel convincing. It only needs your attention. When you listen to it long enough, it slowly convinces you to stay where you are, even when where you are is no longer serving you. Faith, on the other hand, does not deny uncertainty. It simply refuses to be controlled by it. Choosing faith means believing that growth is possible even when you cannot see the outcome clearly. It means trusting that you can learn, adapt, and overcome along the way. Faith shifts your focus from what could go wrong to what could go right, giving you the strength to move forward despite the unknown. Excuses often sound reasonable, but they quietly steal momentum. You tell yourself you are too busy, not ready, or waiting for the right time. Over time, those excuses become comfortable and familiar. creating a false sense of security. Action disrupts that comfort. Action requires effort, vulnerability, and responsibility, but it is the only thing that produces change. Nothing transforms through intention alone. It transforms through movement. Courage grows when you step forward even while feeling unsure. Courage is not a sudden surge of confidence. It is a choice you make in the presence of fear. Each time you take action despite uncertainty, you weaken fear's grip and strengthen your confidence. What once felt impossible begins to feel manageable. Not because the challenge has changed, but because you have. Many people believe they need confidence before they act, but in reality, confidence follows action. You gain clarity by moving, not by waiting. Every step you take teaches you something new about yourself and your ability to handle challenges. Even setbacks become part of your growth, shaping resilience and wisdom. When you choose faith over fear and action over excuses, you stop being controlled by what you feel and start being guided by what you believe. You no longer allow doubt to dictate your direction. Instead, you move forward with determination, knowing that uncertainty is not a sign to stop, but an invitation to grow stronger, braver, and more capable with every step you take.